And so in this time, you said Danny had a bit of an awakening or a shift in behavior with all the drink and the drugs, and he went into rehab. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lot later. Unfortunately, it took me a lot longer to see the light. But yeah, Danny basically was when Clockwork finished. I think he'd had enough, and he went down that road. 23 years is it now? I think that's what he put a post the other day. But mine was a lot different. Unfortunately, I carried on doing it, and it's only now New Year's Eve on a year and a half ago was like my kind of see the light moment.
Yeah, and what was that like for you after all of those years of partying
It's,
and
it's it's been. I mean, look, I've wanted to stop taking drugs. I'd wanted to stop taking drugs for many years, and unfortunately, I didn't. And the problem is with it is I beat myself up with like I shouldn't be doing it, and I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I carried on doing it, and it took a lot of shit basically. My current girlfriend Jade is she's brilliant, and but I put her through hell. It's like and it's this is the problem. My mind, because when you've done drugs and you don't really want to do it, and you're loathing, you beat yourself up, and then what I would do is this would click in, and I'd start projecting blame. You blame everyone else. Like, let's face it, you take drugs. Oh, it's so and so's fault, or da da da. They had it, but who's the person that puts it up your nose or puts it in your mouth? It's you, isn't it? But you will blame everything and everyone else for how you're feeling, and what I would do is I would spend the week after like the weekends are okay, they're great, aren't they? You don't know what you're up to, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was shocking for me, and I'd go into this like hole. And what I would do is I'd lash out with this and saying things to get reactions. I'm ADHD as well, so that don't help because I'm always like looking for reaction. Unfortunately, with this, you'll take any reaction, negative, positive. But I just I created so much drama through my mental health, and yeah, and then it just got to a point where I'd done it so many times, and I'd do the same thing, and I probably like it's a thing called rejection dysphoria syndrome. If I'm not feeling like I'm wanted, then I lash out again, and there's all these different things I was doing, and I had another episode. Like we went to Belgium. We had a lovely trip out there. And what I'd done is the Christmas up to that, I'd stopped. I've stopped taking drugs. Christ, God knows how many times, and stopped drinking, but always slipped back into it. And then what happened was that Christmas, I'd been basically really partying, like not all going mental, but I'd had a right few days of drinking, taking drugs, and da da da. And then when I got to Belgium, I kind of in my head started like feeling bad about myself and putting myself down. Anyway, cut a long story short, this kicked in, ruined the trip, come back to England, ruined New Year's Eve. And then my pattern is like, I'll go months, I'll do little bits, but then eventually I'll end up drinking loads, taking drugs and smashing bottles of vodka. And done so, completely ruined the holiday, completely ruined New Year's Eve. Sent like loads of messages, can't even remember what I was doing. Like I had a massive Barney, and I woke up on New Year's Day, and I kind of knew what was coming. You know what I mean? Because I kind of knew I'd been warned so many times if you do this again. And before she'd even said to me like, I can't be with you. You need to go and sort yourself out. You're not happy. And I just sat in the sofa, and I just was like, I can't do this shit no more. I really can't. I've got to stop because he's going to fucking kill me and ruin me. And that was the start of it. We did split up, and that's what Jay said to me. He said to me, "You need to go away, and you're not happy. You know what I mean? You need to go away and find yourself because you're clearly not happy. And I wasn't, I was messed up through many, many years of abuse. And so I went away. I went to my mum's. I reached out to Danny, of course. But again, this is the thing. Danny's heard me, and this is the thing with addiction. You will promise the earth, I won't do this again, and you're doing it just to appease the people around you, and then you break that promise. And this is what I'd done with Jade. I broke that promise so many times. She had no trust in me. She just didn't believe anything I said because I was basically a lying, bullshitting. And same with Danny. I've told Danny probably, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm quitting. But this time something felt a bit different. Danny said to me, you will know there'll be that light bulb moment. And it was. I was like, I can't do this no more. And then for the first time, I think I went away. And I wanted to do it for me, not to just appease everyone around me by telling everyone that I was... Because in my head, I'm probably thinking, I'm going to say I'm not doing it, but I will do it again, And then I went... so I reached out to Brandon Block, and I was just like, I need help, mate. I said, I'm in this, my mind is fucked. I'm angry, I'm very angry, I'm volatile, I snap, I'm crazy, I just can't control my emotions. So he put me in touch with a guy called Sean McNicholas, who's a behaviour, and he's an ADHD expert. And so Sean rings me, says, right, so tell me your story. So he basically, I told him my story, and he said, look, everything you've said to me is me back in the day. Now, Sean is a very good friend of mine now. But basically, he's took me on this crazy journey of getting into this and working out why I do what I do. And it's been incredible, really. He's amazing. He's an amazing man. I want some commission, Sean, because I put so much business your way. Every time I do a podcast, they're like, "Could you give me the number of your therapist?" But he just basically got into me. He stripped me right back. And what he always said to me was, drink and drugs are not the problem here. There's something deep and underlying that makes you want to take drink and drugs, because they're the mask for the mind of how you're really feeling. So we got into put me in subconscious hypnosis and stuff, and got into my inner subconscious, and it was things from childhood. And there's these different fight and flight, whereas my tolerance levels are so tight. If you say something and I take it the wrong way, I don't listen to what you've said, but I perceive it as it is, and I'll come back and say something. And so we had to go through this really mad process of kind of removing the inner child from me. Because I was what it was, it's where I'd had things happen to me in my childhood that I was out of control of. This is this kind of defense mechanism that I've created where I act in this certain way, and I'm very, very defensive. So if anyone puts it on me, I'll deflect. I'll say something to upset them, and it had to take months of therapy to kind of teach me to listen rather than just react, and listen to what people are saying and stuff like that. And then with Jade, what was happening? We kept in touch because I loved her to bits. I didn't want to lose her. I'm going to get upset now, but I didn't want to lose her. And I was she was like, look, we're done. But deep down, I probably was praying that I could maybe prove to her that I'm getting upset, to prove to her that I could change, And what just started happening was, without me really even realising it, I was changing, but I didn't know. And she probably could see that there was things happening with me, the way I was reacting to situations and change and stuff like that. So we kind of stayed in touch. The therapy was going really well. I did a lot of AA as well. That was really, really helpful for me, going to meetings and listening to just other people that were nothing like me, but like they had the same kind of story. And when you listen to, like, when you're in a room with people and there's I don't know, like a librarian or a bank robber, you know, or like just whatever's different, totally different people from different walks of life, and then they turn around and they say something and like, it's like, I was like, what did you just say? It's like, it's come out, you know, the way I think, because the thing is, addiction isn't, it's an illness, you know what I mean? It's a mental illness. It's not a physical addiction. It's this. But when you hear people talk and you can relate to what they're saying, it's so euphoric, you know. It makes you think, oh my God, I'm not the only one out there that thinks like that, you know. So we basically we kept in touch, and I had a tour of Australia about March. So yeah, I'd stayed at my mum's. I don't know if we did meet up. I don't know. And then basically before I went to Australia, we were talking, and I just thought I really want to see you before I go. So we arranged to meet. So we went and met. Took her up. She loves lamb tagine, so I made her my special, like as a bribe. And we went and met and talked, and it was like, yeah, you know, look, I can really see you're trying hard. Because the thing is, that's what I said to you. You've got to understand, this girl was basically being promised time and time again that I'm going to change, and I never did. And the trust and the walls go up, and it took a long time for her to start trusting me again. And so we sort of said, look, let's see how Australia goes. And then when I got back, we met again, and we were like, let's give it another go. Now we got engaged.